Yeah, so just a little video for someone who maybe are just disclosed, you know, thinking, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to think? What am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to be? Is this normal to feel like this? Am I weird? You know, all that stuff. I disclosed, I think, I like to say about 2005, I think it was. I'm not sure. My memory's shot. I'm crap with dates. And flipping, you know, that was on the back of a flipping, that was on the back of a breakdown. When that breakdown happened, sorry, something triggered it, and it was someone bringing some stuff up about someone who'd abused me, basically sexually abused me, and flipping, my brain just went boom, and it just flooded, and flipping, and I couldn't function. I literally couldn't function, mate. I was flipping. I developed this mad stutter. That lasted for about 3 months. I'm not saying this is going to happen to everybody whatsoever. I'm just saying this is my experience, yeah. And I just couldn't function. I couldn't look people in the eye because I thought everybody knew. Do you know what I mean? Flipping. I was like walking down Market Street in the city centre, in our city centre, and I felt like I had loads of post-it notes flipping stuck to me about everything what had happened to me, and everybody could see it. Do you know what I mean? And you know, it was real. Do you know what I mean? Right, people say, oh, right, yeah, it's just in your head, you'll be alright, get over it. Nah, mate, it was real. That's how I felt. Do you know what I mean? It knocked me for six. It knocked me for six. But I tell you what, it's the best thing that I've ever done in my life, disclosing. As difficult as it was, as painful as it was, as lonely as it flipping felt, yeah, it was the best thing I've done in my life, because I'm not shitting you. From that breakdown come a breakthrough. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, if you tip a flipping, it's like, how's the best way to explain it, right? So if you think about a jigsaw, yeah, and flipping, all the pieces are in the box, and you're walking about for years, shaking and shaking it, you know, that horrible noise that wooden piece of jigsaw making a cardboard box. It was like that. Do you know what I mean? Shake, 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 like that in my head. And what that breakdown doing, I had that breakdown, it took the lid off, yeah. I tipped all the pieces out on the table, yeah. And my next job was to put all the pieces together. When I say put all the pieces together, I don't necessarily mean about everything what had happened. Yeah, different things came back to me. Oh, I forgot about that, forgot about that, forgot about that. There wasn't good memories, do you know what I mean? But that's just how it was, and that's what I had to do. And flipping, when I'm talking about a jigsaw piece, what I'm talking about is my recovery. Do you know what I mean? Because flipping, you know, a friend of mine years ago said to me, she went to me, what do you do for your self-esteem? And it was like, that was a killer question, mate. That was a killer question. A question that I didn't have the answer to, and didn't know the answer to. Didn't even properly understand what self-esteem and self-worth was and all that stuff, to be quite honest with you. And I couldn't answer her. And anyway, I forgot she did flipping even ask me that question till like years later. And flipping, it was just a mad time. And all those pieces, yeah, I couldn't put those pieces together myself. I needed help. Do you know what I mean? Because of the confusion, and because of I was like, I've said it before, I was like really, even though I was a grown man, I was about 33 or something when I disclosed. My decision making, my understanding, my flipping emotional intelligence, whatever you want to call it, was that of a 14, 15-year-old kid. No doubt. Do you know what I mean? That was the time when the second abuse flipping happened. Do you know what I mean? You know, so I needed help, man. I needed help to put this stuff together. Do you know what I mean? I needed help from professionals who cared, who had empathy, who wasn't judgmental, who didn't think they knew what was best for me. Do you know what I mean? Because when someone thinks what's best for you, and start telling you what to do, and you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do the other. You know what I mean? That's not self-empowerment. That's someone else with maybe the best will and intention in the world flipping trying because they want so, they wish so much for you to flipping do well and get right. Like, do this, do this, do this, do this. You know what I mean? When people suggest things, that's a different story, because when someone suggests something to us, you know what I mean, because we've been in a place, because there's been a power flipping imbalance and someone's taken power and control away from us, when someone comes at us with the best will and intention, telling us what they think we should do to get well, you know what I mean, we can take that a bit funny. Do you know what I mean? You know, we don't like being told what to do when we've been through this stuff. Do you know what I mean? And what worked for me was a professional who was caring, who was considerate, who was flipping kind, who understood trauma, yeah, had empathy. They shared a little bit about stuff and struggles they'd been through themselves, because yeah, we might have been sex abused and raped, yeah, but we don't know what the other person's been through or the professional's been through. We don't know. Do you know what I mean? They could have experienced similar to us, or, you know, the mum might have died, the dad might have died, the grandma might have died, flipping. The mum and dad could have split up when they was young, yeah? That's trauma to them. Everyone's trauma is relative to them. So, you know, what I wanted to know is how you've got, as like my question to professionals was, I want to know how you've got through stuff in your life. Yeah, you can throw these worksheets at me and flipping rah, rah, rah. Do you know what I mean? You can do all that, yeah? And some of that stuff's helpful, but I want to know on a human, personal level how you've got through the shit in your life. You've not turned to drugs, you've not turned to drink, or if you did, how did you get through it? Do you know what I mean? I want to know how you have coped. Do you know what I mean? Personally, on a human being level. You know what I mean? Not from a book. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that stuff in a book's important and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But I want you to treat me like a human being and talk to me like a human being, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I needed somebody like that. I also, for me, I needed to speak to other people who've been sexually abused and raped and see what they got to say and see how they made it. Do you know what I mean? I need that stuff, you know. So I talked before about that jigsaw, all those pieces on that table, yeah. Massive part of that is getting to know yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I loved. Do you know what I mean? And the guy said to me, he went, take yourself out on a date. I'm like, what planet are you on, pal? Do you know what I mean? And didn't understand at the time what it meant, but flipping, lo and behold, sat here now in my car in front of you, I've just been and took myself out on a date. I've just been down to Salford Quays and had a flipping walk around there. Went to Old Trafford, down to United's ground, had a little bit of a mooch around there on my own with headspace. Yeah, it was years ago that I disclosed and stuff, but you know, it was bad and it was terrible what happened to me and all that kind of stuff. But the thing that I found most difficult in life is building myself back up. Not even building myself back up, flipping starting afresh. Do you know what I mean? But what that is for me is flipping, you know, I've listened to all these people who've said this, that and the other. I've not been closed-minded. I've tried stuff what people have said. I've spoke to other people who I can identify with, because flipping, I feel weird. Do you know what I mean? You know, like, you know, flipping, thinking everybody flipping knows what's happened to me when I'm out in public and stuff like that. I felt like that in the early days. Do you know what I mean? Nobody knew. Do you know what I mean? That was me in my head with the guilt and the shame and, you know, and all that kind of stuff that was attacking me. Do you know what I mean? Thought people knew. People only know if you tell them. But the thing is, mate, yeah, what I'm saying to you is flipping, ultimately, this ain't our shit to carry. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're carrying about these big massive suitcases and a rucksack and a fucking shopping trolley we're pulling around, and it's a load of shit that's not ours. Someone has done something to us and it ain't ours. Go and pick that suitcase up, boom, flipping throw it in the canal, mate, in town. Do you know what I mean? It's not our shit to carry. This ain't your shit to carry. What's our responsibility now is getting well and being happy and having the life what we deserve, yeah. Genuinely speaking now, of course I have my shit days and all that, but honest to God, I'm happy. I'm happy in myself. I'm getting comfortable in my own skin. I'm still on that journey. Do you know what I mean? But I do loads of things with other people and do things on my own. Do you know what I mean? I clear my head. I speak to people. I don't isolate myself. I do the opposite of what I did before, yeah? What I did before was self-harm, poisoning myself with drugs, isolating myself, trying to kill myself. Now, I want to live. I genuinely want to live.